Hey there, I'm Aki and welcome back to another video. With Below Zero releasing in less than a week, I thought it would be a good time to check if you should buy the game. Now, while Below Zero is still in the Subnautica franchise, playing in the same universe, on the same planet with the same creatures, at least some of them, and the same basic story, there's a lot that's different from Subnautica. So, in this video I'll take a look at what parts of Subnautica you liked, and what that means for Below Zero. I'll also take a look at some of the differences between the two games, even though I've already made a separate video on that, which you can check out on the screen right now. Now, the main difference between the two games is that Below Zero is way more story driven than Subnautica. It has a more direct story. In Below Zero, you don't have to find clues and try to figure out where you have to go on your own. You get more direct hints with databank entries or actual NPCs telling you where to go. Yes, Below Zero has NPCs and also a voice-acted character, but that does not mean that you don't feel alone like in Subnautica. The devs actually did a really good job at bringing back that feeling of loneliness, because you're not constantly being talked to by somebody, you're actually alone most of the time. And if you're interacting with someone, they are usually not in a place where they could help you if something goes wrong. Now, in my opinion, Below Zero's music is way better than that of Subnautica. With the exception of Into the Unknown, which is my absolutely all-time favorite song of Subnautica, but the rest of the music is so much better than the original game. So if you enjoyed the Subnautica music, you'll definitely enjoy Below Zero. I mean, just listen to this. Prunty did an amazing job with the music, and that's a really good part of Subnautica Below Zero. Overall, the game is also more polished, and they have improved a ton of systems, such as building with more buildables, maybe some quality of life changes where you can see through whatever you're currently building, and you can also now build on the surface way easier because you get staircases and much more. And of course, there are way more building parts you can use, such as giant rooms, room dividers, massive aquariums, glass ceilings, and much more. Below Zero also looks a lot better than the original game. They improved so many systems and just polished everything. We now have weather, we now have better textures, better animations, and so on. They learned a lot from Subnautica and improved upon it for Below Zero. It's so good that I often get lost just looking at the sky and enjoying the scenery. Now, the story is still clouded in mystery, and it still revolves around the architects or precursors. So if that's something you like, you will get way more of that in Subnautica Below Zero. There's a lot to discover story-wise and exploration-wise, even though it's less scary than the original Subnautica. We have new Leviathans, but for some reason they just don't quite get the same feel as the Reaper or Sea Dragon got for me in the original game. The focus overall has also shifted to exploration, so you have a bunch of new biomes to discover, a bunch of cool creatures, and just generally some really good looking things. But there's also less creatures than in Subnautica. If I counted correctly, Subnautica had 46 creatures and Below Zero has 38, not counting color variants and baby versions and all of that. So a few less creatures, but I feel like the creatures in Below Zero are way higher quality. And all of them do something, unlike the jumper, or whatever this thing is. Now, some people have complained that Below Zero has a less realistic ecosystem. That means there are no supporting land animals for stalkers or iceworms to eat. But honestly, who cares? I mean, it looks cool, and that's the most important part of a video game. It doesn't have to be realistic. So in summary, if you like story-driven open-world games like The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, GTA 5 or Firewatch, you'll probably like Below Zero. Especially if the best thing about the original Subnautica for you was exploration and the mystery about the precursors. If you mainly like the horror aspect and an indirect story about Subnautica, and the games I mentioned aren't really your style, then I don't think you'll enjoy Subnautica Below Zero as much as you did the original game. I do have to mention that I really enjoyed the story and exploration in Below Zero so far though, and I can personally definitely recommend the game. Chances are that if you're watching this video, you haven't played the game yet, but if you have, let me know if you liked it in the comments down below. Special thanks to my Aki COD leaders on YouTube and Patreon: Blink, Saber, Fauna, Jeff the Sea Dragon, Just Arkeo, Ripe Cucumber, Tony House, and Wynog. Thank you so much for your support. I hope you enjoy your special perks. But for now, thank you very much for watching. If it was helpful, remember to leave a like, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye!